So just saying hello to everyone, welcoming you into this sacred space that we are co-creating together, and thanking you for being here. And we are moving, as I'm sure you all know, into the solstice energies. And as the beings of absolute light have already shared with that, we are also moving into the energy of 2024, which is, they say, a very it's like a strong current in the ocean. It has a real forward direction to it, and it is going to be moving us beyond where we are now, both as a collective, as a smaller collectives, particularly those who are aligning with this path. So it's an amazing, excellent time, they say, to form connections with other light workers and way showers and others of this community, and start to bring your gifts together. Because that is going to be truly honored by Divine Source in the coming months, and really enabling a very accelerated transformation path into the new earth for those who are doing this. And also for individuals, they say. So this may be creating lots of shifts in our lives and causing lots of things to come up, to be looked at, to be revealed to us, where we are still caught in old patterns, so that we can start to just release that next layer. As you know, I know the people who watch this channel, many of you have been on this path for a long time. There's layers to each of the more shadow aspects, the patterns that we still hold, where the wounded masculine, wounded feminine aspects. And as we start to peel them off, we gradually get to a deeper level with that. And it's all perfect, they say. They say there is some sense, because the people who watch this channel, you are so attuned to the idea of being perfectly attuned to source, and truly being the highest vessel of light that you can be in this lifetime. So really thank you for that, and honoring you for that. But it means is there still some self-condemnation or self-blame, where you feel like you're not quite managing this, is what the beings of absolute light say. And they want each of us, including me, they say each of you, each of us, to know that where we are is exactly perfect, exactly where we are supposed to be at this time. And that any patterns that are coming up to be revealed, it doesn't mean that we haven't done the work. It doesn't mean that, we are getting caught up in the energies of old earth. It's just that this is the time for those things to be brought up, and to be seen, and to be acknowledged and honored, and then released by us. So they do encourage us to be very watchful of our thought patterns and what is coming up, especially as we move through the solstice gateway and into the last few days of this year. And speaking of huge shifts and transformations, as I was on my way to work this weekend, the mountain, I live in an area with, actually very near the Japanese Alps, but there's like smaller mountains all around. It's very I mean, here they call them hills, but really from a British person's perspective, they're like small mountains. But there are smaller mountains all around, with the villages in the valleys, or some parts of them atop the mountains, or the smaller mountains too. But they're called like local mountains. These local mountains were communicating with me, and just expressing how much there are really deep shifts taking place within the crystal structures of the earth at this time, and that there's a sense of like movement there within the crystals. And as we all know, the crystals, they do amplify the energy, and they are here to support us in our ascension process. And so what the mountains were revealing to me is that as just a moment, please. we have a guest today. So that as the mountains really start to, as the crystals really start to shift within the Earth structure, it's going to create a lot of transformations and like really dynamic changes and shifts for Gaia and also for us as the human collective. But what they want to emphasize most of all is that this is not a negative thing. Like some of the shifts and upheavals and great transformational changes that occur may at first seem somewhat perhaps even frightening or alarming, but we are to remain grounded. Remember to remain grounded in that knowing that this is because of, all the light that is being activated, both within Gaia herself and also all the light that is coming in from Divine Source, and that they are truly here to support us in our highest ascension timeline at this time. So they did ask me to share that with you. So I would just like to do that before I go into this week's message, which is from the Lemurian whales, dolphins, priests, and priestesses. And the message is pre-channeled in advance. So I will be reading that from my website. And then the Lemurian priestesses and priests have asked me to share a short musical transmission activated with their light codes afterwards. So I will do that. And in between those two, I'm also going to share a little about the upcoming solstice event, which is in 2 days' time. And is the offering that the beings of absolute light are bringing forth to support us as at this time as we move into a deeper physicalization and physical embodiment of the new earth, and also about some light activated, light encoded artwork that I've been actually playing with for several years, but finally in the last year have really brought it to something that I'm very happy with and am now ready to share. So first, if Toma will allow, I would like to read this week's message, and then I will go into the rest of the sharings. So this message is in 2 parts, with the first part being from the Lemurian whales and dolphins, who say, "Dear beautiful beloveds on the face of the planet Earth, long have we observed the way that you live with deep respect and also deep grief, and even at times a feeling of frustration that is born of the way that you so adamantly and stubbornly refuse to acknowledge the effects on the rest of the planetary ecosystems that the way you are choosing to construct your lives has, and also stubbornly refuse to make any attempt to change your actions. You were born into this world in order to experience yourselves as part of the greater whole. There is nothing so beautiful as this knowing of the oneness of all life while in a physical body. And yet the way you are choosing to live dismisses this idea entirely, making almost a mockery of it in the way that your actions cause so much harm to those beyond yourself, both those of your own kind and those of other species. We want you to know above all else that there is another way, a way that is more infused with the frequencies of goodwill towards all things, and extending from this and also beyond it, applying this principle in ways that lead you to take conscious action that takes into consideration both the feelings of others and the effects your actions and lack of action, for that too is an action choice, have on people and things external to yourself. In truth, seen from the principle of oneness, nothing is external to self. When you make decisions about what actions to take, it is important that you consider, will this action lead to the highest desired outcome for all? This is what living the concept of oneness is all about. In the midst of all the blame, the hatred, the mistrust of others different from yourself, and also the way you as humans get so caught up in what would seem to be important each day, and yet is most often very trivial and actually does not need more than a little of your attention. It becomes harder to create enough space in your mind to give your attention to such things as these. And yet it is still very possible, and it is what we task you with. For us in the animal world, our minds are not so caught up in these things as yours are, and we act more purely on our desires arising in the moment and our instinct. We do not create divisions between things, and even when we are hunted by another animal further up the food chain for food, we have an understanding that our life energy is contributing to their life energy and so forth. Our own life is less important than the preservation of the life that flows through all. So we honor this life, the bigger life, rather than simply being focused only on our own smaller life and how much we can expand and grow and create ongoing achievements and territories for the self that we know at the deepest level doesn't exist. We understand at some level that ultimately there is no self. All is one life. This is the secret of our happiness, for we are content to be free in the joy of the moment without striving, and also without any attachment to what the next moment may bring. We know that all is neutral, therefore all is good. All contributes to the greater flow of life in the direction of the divine's destiny for all life. These are the concepts we wish you to start to embrace as your own. This oneness consciousness is the key to your evolution as a species into a greater embodiment of the divine love that you came to the planet at this very sacred time to know yourselves as. We've loved you, dear, precious ones. You are doing so well. It is we, it is us, the Lemurian whales and dolphins of absolute light. Moving on to what the Lemurian priests and priestesses have shared as the message that they wish to transmit to us at this time. We love and honor you so deeply. This time is precious to us as we see Gaia's highest timeline unfolding in your realms. We have performed our ceremonies in anticipation of this for many thousands of years in the physical and etheric realms. This is where you are going as humanity from now, to the place where you are able to step back and forth between physical and etheric, take the energy of the etheric and use it to truly manifest a higher dimensional way of living in the physical earth realm. This time has been long awaited. You are the ones chosen by the divine to be here at this time who will bring this timeline forth, though it is not yet known how many years or tens of years it will take to complete it. You are doing your job superbly well, much better than you know, for you came to be immersed in the human emotional nature and the 3D realm that you may liberate yourselves from this. The light codes coming in from the galactic central sun at this time support this release to a great extent, making it far more possible to attain this sense of connection to the divine self than has been possible for most until now. There is to be a great acceleration of this process on your behalf. We desire to further support you in this very important stage of the Ascension process. Look at the pictures below, and I will post a link to the message on my website under the video. Look at the pictures below for 10 seconds each to receive our activations, supporting you in aligning with this greater multidimensional self now. We are honored to be able to serve in this way. It is we, it is us, the Lemurian priests and priestesses of absolute light. And there are also some other beings coming in wanting to bring activations through too. So I will do them along with the activated music that the Lemurians, Lemurian priests and priestesses have asked me to share at the end. But I'm just going to take a moment now to share about two things which are well, one is upcoming and one is new, and both are exciting for me. So excuse me a moment while I pour myself some more tea. So the offering that the beings of absolute light are bringing forth for the solstice, though of course what they share today will be their free offering that will help us to integrate the solstice energies. But for those who really wish to do that on a deeper level and to really have that more personalized support from the divine beings of absolute light, of course, you are more than welcome to join the call. And thank you to those who have already registered to do so. And so in their own words, they channeled the information on the website page, as they always do. So they say the golden age of Gaia is here, and we are the ones bringing it in as we hold and stabilize the embodiment of very high frequency crystalline diamond light in these realms. All that is of the old earth is dropping away. It is time for humanity to reveal, to unveil a version of self that is more connected to the truth of who we are as multidimensional beings. And if you are reading, or in this case, listening to this, you are here to be part of this sacred transformation. As I'm sure, we're all aware that we're here to be part of this sacred transformation. And where we have our question is, in what way is the highest way for me to be of service at this time? But the messages, the activations that they will be bringing forth are going to help us to align with the highest light energy coming into the planet at this time, and to prepare ourselves for, the great shifts within ourselves on a physical, a cellular, and also a mental and emotional level. They say that are going to come in as that energy that was spoke of before with the source light, the photonic light coming into the planet and really creating those shifts within the crystals, within the crystal beds, within the earth, and of course the plasma light coming in from the galactic central sun also being very active in that. And then with the solstice also being a huge gateway, which will allow us to really receive all of that energy on a much deeper level as we align with that intention. In terms of practicalities, the call that we are sharing, we're asking for an offering of $66. But there is actually an option, although I haven't mentioned it on my website, but I did share about it on social media. So let me just go to my Facebook page and check what I know that this has been a difficult year financially for some. So if you really feel called to join it and you genuinely can't pay the full price because of financial hardship, then there is an opportunity. You can just reach out to me at transmissionsoflight11@gmail.com, which again, it's in the links with my YouTube bio, and also I believe beneath the video too. For those who would find the offering of 66 to be a struggle, but still would like to participate and to offer fair exchange for the participation, then the beings of light say that if you reach out to me, I'll send you a special link and you can register for only $44. So if there's anyone who is interested in that, please make sure to reach out to me quickly and I will reply as soon as I can. But I do have quite a lot going on in my physical world this week. So I would definitely get back to you before the event, but make sure to check your email, a few times and apologies in advance if I don't reply immediately. I don't actually have a smartphone, so I won't be replying immediately because I can only check my emails when I open my computer. So that is their offer to help to make this more accessible to those who have experienced difficulty in the area of abundance this year. And I know I've already shared about what they're planning to bring through with various Ascension and New Earth activations, and really grounding us into the energy of Ascended Gaia and the New Earth, and upgrading our chakra columns with New Earth codes, as well as a divine source healing and a sound healing integration at the end. And the thing that is really interesting about this is an oversoul integration, which I think I mentioned last time. But this is going to be done by communicating with each individual's on the call's higher self and asking to what extent, what percentage we can bring in that oversoul energy for you. And the percentage will be given different for each individual based not only on where you are, they say it's partly kind of where you are at with your mental and emotional embodiment of the Ascension codes, but it's more related to how your physical body is going to be able to integrate this energy, so that it's not a comment on your ascension process. Like, it could just mean that you're very tired, or that your body has a harder job integrating a lot of light very quickly, and so on. So there is no need to compare with others on the call, but they will be for each individual specifying the percentage to which they are able to bring in that oversoul energy, which is something a bit new, something they haven't done before. So I, as the channel, actually found that really interesting, because it's going to be your individual oversoul in communication with your higher self, requesting to me through the beings of absolute light. So it's going to be a really interesting aspect of this for me. And then they've also added, not on the website page, because they've just been adding in some new activations as I've been deepening into a fuller kind of idea of what the flow of the event is to be. So there's also going to be some Christ consciousness activations, and and they're also going to do a cleansing and clearing of our fields using sacred flames, the sacred violet, golden, and platinum flames, as well as sacred golden phoenix fire, they say. So those are two things that they have added, which aren't on the website page. I just would like to mention them here. And then they also wanted me to mention, just looking at my notes, I noticed this, that the energies of rose quartz and the ascended mountains, in particular Shasta and Fuji, who I work with a lot, and the crystals of the Ascended Earth, and also the master crystal beds of New Earth Gaia, which are supporting us. These are the ones that are shifting that we spoke of before, I spoke of before. They are all going to be really bringing in an activation right at the end, just before we go into the crystal bowl healing and integration. And this is going to be to really ground us into the energy of unconditional love, which they say is the energy of New Earth. As I'm sure you know, you are already aware of that to a large degree, but they did want me to mention that. Don't think there's anything else that they wanted me to mention with regards to this event, but if it does speak to your heart, I would love to see you on the call on Thursday. It's Thursday, 21st of December, 7 a.m. ET, 12 p.m. UK, 1 p.m. CET, 8 p.m. WA, and 9 p.m. JST. I know that does mean, you know, it's not a very compatible time for some US time zones. My apologies for that. Also not a very compatible time for New Zealand, potentially some Australian time zones. There is a replay that will be active for a month. So just so you know that if you do happen to be in one of those time zones that it is less compatible for. So that's all I want to share around that. The other thing that I'm actually really excited to share with you, partly because I've really been enjoying deepening into it, and partly because it is kind of really new. Sorry about that. It is really new for me. Well, not really new, actually. I've been really deepening into how to bring through an artistic expression. And the beings of absolute light have said for several years now that they wanted me to do some light encoded art, and that part of it was already in place, but I wanted it to be something that I was already also artistically satisfied with, which took a bit longer to get that bit in place. And now I've got some, I mean, it's always a work of progress, isn't it? Like art and lives, they're always a work of progress, but and awakening. But I'm happy with some of the light encoded art that we have brought through in the last year, and have actually I've started to put it on art prints and t-shirts and hoodies, which I have now put up pages for on my website. So far only the pages for the hoodies, hooded tops, and the t-shirts, the organic t-shirts are up, but there will be pages for the long sleeved t-shirts, and there's also some other t-shirts which aren't organic but have some different colors, so I'm going to put those up too, and also the art prints. This is one of the art prints behind me here, so that's what they're going to be looking at. And I just have here an example of, I've been ordering samples and wearing them and having quite fun doing so. So this is one of the hooded tops, and this is activated with divine source energy. And then just so you have an example of, you know, a different style, kind of different, slightly different style of image. This one is, which is a long sleeved t-shirt. This is actually a throat chakra activation. And as well as being light encoded, I mean, I personally, you know, I feel like they're something that I can enjoy wearing and being in the world with this light activated art. And it kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say it works as it works aesthetically. It's aesthetically pleasing to me. And particularly on garments, much to my surprise, you know, I wasn't really expecting that. I sent off for a first t-shirt sample, just planning to wear it as a pajama top, not really expecting that much from it. But both myself and the friends that I shared it with, we were really like, wow, that looks really good. You know, it's almost better than the art prints. Though now I feel like that was when the art prints, you know, they didn't have any framing, but now that the art prints also have these, I've forgotten quite what the description is. It's not a framed art print, but it's a hanging art print, perhaps. I am pretty pleased with those too. So I will share more, or share again when I do get the art prints and long sleeve t-shirts up in the store. But for now, I have made pages on my website for the hooded tops and the organic t-shirts. So if you know, you would enjoy being the owner of something like that, of the light activated clothing, then, or if you know someone in your life who would be, then I do invite you to check those pages out too. And that is enough of sharing of extraneous things. And for now, I'm going to go into the transmissions, the Arcturians and the dragons and the ascended mountains and crystals, as mentioned before, want to come through. And I am, and so I don't forget to do it later, I am just going to set up the sound and my space here so that when we go into the music transmission, hopefully the sound quality will then be better. So the Arcturians would like to come through first, they say. So just inviting you to come into an open space of receiving. And Babaji and Yogananda and others of the line of the Ascended Indian Masters also stepping forward now and bringing in their they're calling them the new earth codes, which is not a word that they have used with me before. And then the dragons bringing through their clearing. Shikahanyata ratam yanitketaha Shalianya Shikatahoatea Se Shakatahohe Rasatam Yama Shikahatake Honihaha Resitahai Shikaholatekin Manyate Shinata Shaka Leteto Ho Hinyatika Sakahapat Rasha. and the crystal energy supported by Lemurian energies and also the energies of the ascended mountains of the ascended New Gaia. Upshifting us at this time so that we may truly be prepared to receive the highest integration of the light codes coming into the planet at this time. And the Lemurian transition is to further support that, and also to truly bring in the energy of the frequency of peace and bliss and joy-filled laughter, just greater joy into our lives. They want to acknowledge the importance of, at this time at the end of the year when there's various holidays for people of different groups, us taking time, they want to acknowledge the importance of just taking their time to be with loved ones, to do those kind of human things, to share the love that we are in those ways, as well as our deep commitment to holding that energy of love for the greater collective. Sha. 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 And so from my heart to yours, wishing you a beautiful passing through this solstice gateway. Looking forward to connecting with you again next week at the very special time for us as humans to come together. That is the holiday season. So thank you for being my family here on YouTube, and for all the love that you share with your comments and your likes and your shares. I'm so grateful for your presence. And do remember to look at the links below, particularly the activated pictures. I will put the link to the message on my website, and also the other links that I mentioned earlier in the video. So thank you so much for being here. Beautiful blessings of light to you, and with love from my heart to yours. Thank you.